on the 10 freeway in West Covina. This happened just a couple hours ago tonight. It would have been a very different scene with Friday rush hour, but now in the 10 o'clock hour, not many other drivers here. Now, could there be an attempt to possibly lay down a spike strip, maybe off the freeway, attempt a pit maneuver? We will have to wait and see, but you can see this one unit leading the pack here, catching up to this black sedan driver. And as we fly alongside this car, again, on the driver's side, I'm going to go in again with the doubler and try and get you a better shot of who is in that car, what is in that car. Earlier, you saw we went in with the doubler. You could just see the driver, nobody else in there. I'm seeing some movement in there. Movement, possibly lights. Saw a hand reach out. Oh, this driver is pulling out what appears to be a device, checking their phone. Now, we said earlier this pursuit was not moving at freeway speeds. We are now exceeding 60 miles per hour. Multiple units still behind this car, flashing lights on. And it does appear that California Highway Patrol has now entered this pursuit, still westbound on the 10 freeway, driving through the Baldwin Park area now. Slowing down slightly, just under 50 miles per hour now. And now that we know CHP has taken over, I'm going to widen out and see if we can get this on the scanner. Earlier it was Monterey Park PD in pursuit. We, of course, could not hear their scanners. They are encrypted. But we're going to keep eyes on this and see if we can get the very latest live scanner intel for you. And as we get resituated here and I zoom back in and show you this pursuit vehicle again, being pursued by CHP westbound on the 10 freeway here now in the Baldwin Park area. A suspected DUI driver here. My pilot is pointing out that I haven't actually introduced myself to tonight's streamers. This is Julia Dang and Jim Pollard overhead in News Chopper 4. And this driver now slowing down in the middle of the freeway, appearing to stop briefly there, only going about 30 miles per hour now. And we saw this happening earlier too, off the freeway. This driver slowing down, appearing to perhaps consider stopping. But nope, this chase continues westbound on the 10 freeway. Started with Monterey Park PD, eastbound on the 10, got off the freeway, and now CHP in hot pursuit, westbound on the 10. Unclear if this driver has a destination in mind. Veering between lanes here. Again, a suspected DUI driver here. We're not seeing anybody else in that vehicle. .605 north. Started in the Monterey Park area. 605 CHP in pursuit. Certainly not a high-speed pursuit tonight, but we have seen this driver rolling through intersections, veering between lanes, driving onto the shoulder, and speeding up now. And nearing speeds of 70 miles per hour here, northbound on the 10. Northbound on the 605. We are in Irwindale now, northbound on the 605. Okay, I'm picking this up on the CHP scanner now, and it sounds like Monterey Park PD, the agency, of course, that initiated this pursuit, they are still behind this vehicle. Veering off now onto the shoulder, northbound 605. Slowing down on the right-hand shoulder. Stopped on the right-hand shoulder. We are seeing this driver gesturing out the window. Now we're seeing the car moving again. This has happened a couple times now where they've stopped, they've started driving again. Now we're going to stay tight on this. There could be an attempt finally to stop and get out of this car and yield to officers. They're closing in now. You can see their lights on this vehicle. There is also an airship overhead. And as we wait for this driver to make a game time decision about whether they're going to get out and yield to officers or continue this pursuit. Again, what we know is this is a suspected DUI driver. Pulled over now on the right-hand shoulder, the 605 North in Irwindale. And it looks like this driver has made the decision to continue this chase. We thought for a moment there they might be moving to get out of the vehicle and surrender to CHP here. And we're hearing on the scanner, I know there was a bright glare from lights on the driver's side door there. We couldn't see really what was happening inside the car. We are hearing on the scanner here
We
the
are
driver
now on our way towards
appeared
Irwindale,
to be
northbound on the
agitated.
605.
And Mike, I know covering some of these chases, we
Exiting
talked about
now,
when will police do this
LA
traffic
Avenue.
break. It
Off the-
seems like they, the second one here, pretty quick because of this DUI, suspect and the danger that that poses. How important is it with this traffic break?
Yeah, the traffic break is important. You know, we don't generally see that at super high speeds because the car is going faster than the other traffic,
Right.
so it's kind of pointless. But when you're going this slow, you want to keep the general public as far away from this as you can. That's why the traffic break is important. CHP is very good at doing traffic breaks. They do them frequently for crashes as well. The other thing I wanted to point out, when we had that shot of the patrol car there, you almost saw the two lights that looked like they were crossed. Those are the floodlights from the front of the CHP Cruiser that they were trying to look into. Now as we're pulling over to the shoulder here, slowing back down again, let's see if he does the same thing where he kind of yelled at those officers earlier.
Yeah, he did that
Yep.
not too
Yep.
long ago, just exactly
And
doing the
it
same
seems
thing
like-
again,
and-
stopping and gesturing back to the officers and saying something.
And Des, I don't know if from your vantage point, it seems like he's like asking a question like, why are you following me, or
What is going
something
on?
to that effect, or what is going on?
Yeah, we've definitely seen this before with suspects where, you know, they just act, where they just kind of play dumb and don't, like, they act like they don't understand what's going on. But, I mean, let's see now. This is the first time we've been at a stop for this long. Officers now out with weapons drawn and those floodlights on like Mike was talking about. He's got his hands up. He's got the window up, though, as well. He's just kind of motioning with his fingers. So, you know, you would love to know if you could, you know, really read lips what this guy is saying. We'll double way in here. Basically all the way in that we can possibly get a really detailed view. You might have the window down just a hair there, and regardless, he can surely hear the loudspeakers from CHP just telling him to give this up. But I don't know, that, you know, maybe this person not in a very good state of mind. I mean, again, suspected DUI was the original want, so it's definitely fair to wonder, you know, if this person is indeed under the influence of something this evening. But now, you know, all lanes going to be stopped here on this northbound 605
Baldwin Park is
leaving
where
Baldwin
this
Park.
driver got back onto mid-10 and headed westbound before getting on the 605 north and exiting. Live Oak Avenue now. Are we going to make that left-hand turn? No traffic here. Northbound now on Stewart Avenue. Driver took that left turn off of Live Oak. No traffic, slowing down now, about 25 miles per hour. Stopping at a red light. 2 CHP units behind the sedan. The suspected DUI driver here, make that 3 CHP units. Again, this chase started in Monterey Park. Monterey Park PD initially in pursuit. Eastbound 10, got off the freeway, got back on the freeway, westbound 10, northbound 605, now off freeways again. Back onto River Grade Road, southbound now. Back towards Live Oak. This is one big circle or rectangle. Again, doesn't appear to be a clear destination. We are just going around and around, back onto Live Oak Avenue now. Baldwin Park, suspected DUI driver here being pursued by California Highway Patrol. This is after multiple stops where we thought it looked like this driver was going to get out and surrender. But at this point, we have not seen this driver actually exit the vehicle. And every time he or she has continued driving. We're back at this intersection. This is Live Oak and Stewart Avenue. You'll remember a minute or two ago at this same intersection, the driver took that left-hand turn. So we are, again, in that left turn lane. See what they do. I'm going to zoom out ever so slightly so you can see these 2 CHP units behind this car. They opened their doors. Those CHP officers actually got out for a moment, but the chase continues. Stewart Avenue again. Left-hand turn off of Live Oak Avenue. This is now our second go-around. Back at the intersection of Stewart and River Grade. Taking that right-hand turn onto River Grade. Around and around in Irwindale. CHP not giving it up. And this driver still refusing to stop. Okay, now thanks to this merry-go-round, we are now on the other side of the car. We can try and get you a view of whether there's anybody in the passenger seat. We were not seeing anyone earlier. Okay, as we widen out, you can see that we are right up against the Santa Fe Dam. And that's why the driver took that left turn. Arrow Highway now. Still in Irwindale. 3 CHP units in pursuit. Now this could get back onto
Check.
the freeway as we approach.
Is
the
this working or
605
still
now.
fucked?
Just got off the 605.
Still
tower.
fucked up?
We've been doing circles here in Irwindale.
It's good? It's working? Okay. Whatever. All right, guys.
Still
Fuck,
on
I've been
Arrow
sitting here
Highway.
not talking for this long. Okay, we're saved. Yeah, we're saved. All right. I don't know what happened before. Usually, if I restart the app, the audio, the mic will work
605.
again. So I was so confused when I restarted the computer and it wasn't working. I was like, fuck, I don't know what to do. Make your hair look more K-pop? Man, I don't have enough hair. My hairline's bad, dude.
Signaling that lane change now on the northbound 605 CHP in pursuit of this
Yeah,
suspected DUI.
Tony.
driver. This was heading northbound on the 605 earlier before this driver exited in the Baldwin Park.
Was it
Urbandale
you who
area.
said that you could hear me
Made a
clicking
couple
my
circles,
mic, my
drove up
mouse?
alongside
I was like,
the
wait,
dam,
if you
and then
can
got
hear
back
that.
onto the freeway. Picking up speed now. Close to 90 miles per hour now. You know, if this continues, this driver eventually is going
Damn,
to
he's
run out of
flying
gas.
now. This changed. This is like really slow speed,
Just
boring
zooming
thing.
Past these other vehicles on the northbound 605 now.
Okay. Wait, I gotta do the thing again. Okay, so we've got 5+ cops. We've got the night sun. I think that's it.
Okay, getting off the 605 now.
From Bruno Mars to Vin Diesel. Wrecked him. Got him. We do have on phone. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. That's a good call. He was on his phone. We saw his phone. You're right, dude. You got it right.
Off the freeway on Huntington Drive now.
Oh, these trees are going to kill us when he pulls over right here.
We are now in Duarte. Started in Monterey Park, eastbound on the 10. Got off the freeway in the Baldwin Park area. Back onto the 10, westbound, northbound 605. Got off the freeway, got back onto the northbound 605. We are now on Huntington Drive. Briefly hit speeds of 90 miles per hour on the freeway just now in the northbound 605.
She said it was 90. I mean, I guess I didn't see it on the speedometer, but she just said that. I saw it get to like 85 or something, but hey, if she says it was 90, then it was 90.
Westbound now in an alleyway.
It's near the Maid Cafe. What's up, Richie?
Now when we see pursuit drivers.
Shout out to the maids. Yo, if you're on YouTube, go over and hit the thumbs up. If you hit that thumbs up, maybe they'll tell other people to come here. That would be cool. Try hitting the thumbs up. It's free. It's easy. So easy.
To throw off the cops. No chance of that here, though. CHP right behind this vehicle. The suspected DUI driver. Duarte now.
What's up, Vic? Oh shit. Is this even a road now? Where are we?
This could be a private alleyway. This is behind
Right next to the river?
residences here.
Okay, made it out.
Coming up now on Central Avenue.
Made it
Right
out.
turn onto Central, westbound now.
GP says, afraid this girl Mike's soon gonna lost her job to AI. You think so? Eliana and this girl both get replaced by some robot? Was that a sidewalk? Yeah, I think so. I guess so. Yeah, investigating that one, right, Merle? Yeah, I will get replaced with AI Chase watch party host.
Relatively slow speed pursuit now. We got off those alleyways. We're on Central Avenue now, westbound, 30 miles per hour. No traffic.
Man, this chase's been going on for a while.
Left turn now from Central Avenue
Comments
onto
help the algorithm. Yeah, you're probably right.
Avenue.
Well, I would really like for people to come in here right now because this isn't going to be a very good video to watch later. I already know it.
Hard to.
If you're watching this later,
Behind it.
I mean, maybe something
Highway
interesting's
Avenue.
going to happen here, but I don't know. There's probably better videos of mine that you could be watching. Yeah, the cop's going on the wrong side of the road.
Taking that right turn now. After that railroad crossing, Highland Avenue, Duarte.
Oh, Merle, counterpoint. Snooze is already an AI. Ooh. I don't know how to prove that I'm not.
Patrol on a pursuit. Looks like they are gearing up to make that left turn onto Circle Road.
Dude, there's no cars anywhere. There's nobody out here.
And again, we see California Highway Patrol doing what they did earlier,
Yeah.
opening their doors.
Yeah, no action in this one. But you know, Tony, you've seen enough of these, dude. It could change. This could be the most exciting chase you ever saw. It could happen. It's not out of the question.
Left turn to Circle Road now. We saw that happening earlier with 2 CHP units behind this suspected DUI driver stopped at an intersection, opening both doors of each unit and getting out.
Mm-hmm.
But no compliance on the part of this pursuit driver. This has been going on for close to an hour now.
Has it? She said it was like 15 minutes,
Go on
like
out and try and get a better
5
shot of
minutes ago.
where
Yo,
this
Pork,
driver's
thank you for
making the
following.
right turn.
We are, we may be
And it
watching
looks
the
like they've
end
got
of a
parking
police
structure.
chase. I think we're going into a parking
Notoriously
garage.
tough spot for airships to keep eyes on
So it's over. It looks like.
pursuit vehicles. But there are ground units here. You saw those 3 CHP units following the pursuit driver into this parking structure in Duarte. This is Ben Horowitz Drive and Hope Drive. We're gonna widen
What's up with the
this.
parking structures? I don't know, man.
Whether that car came out the other side.
What is up with
Okay.
that?
So there was no attempt to bail out and leave the car in this parking structure.
Wait,
Went in and came right back
we're
out.
all right. Fuck it. Not done. Yeah, every time we see them go in a parking structure, they don't come back out. Except there was that one that we saw last time where they came back out and then they went back in, and then we never saw them again. Well, all right. I thought this was over. Nope, don't leave yet. The one with the undercover, right?
We are northbound on Highland now, and if that also sounds familiar, we are circling back to where we just were.
Why
before
don't
this
they do a
driver
pit move? I don't quite
entered
get
a
what's
parking
going on here
structure
that they
and
don't
then
just
right back out.
do that, you know? Will he stop and pay to exit? Right. I don't, did he have to take a ticket to go in and out of there? What happened?
And as they lead us around and around,
I don't know,
it
man.
does
It's
make you
like I don't
wonder
think this.
about
I
the
don't know. All right. So from what we
resources
saw when the
used
guy
by
pulled
drivers
over for a minute,
have seen
it
no
looked like
attempt
he's like talking to the
to
police.
yield
Like this
and
dude is.
surrendered to California Highway Patrol.
They said
Suspected
DUI,
driver
but
there.
I was saying that
Flower
a
Avenue.
lot of times, I think most of the time, these type of situation where the person's like constantly talking throughout a chase,
That would be our
they're doing
third
really
person on
erratic
Highland
shit.
Avenue.
It's usually not that they're on drugs. It's not drug-induced
No
psychosis.
traffic
It's like
here.
they're just actually losing their mind. So, I'm saying that I think that's probably what this is, and guys, probably not. I don't know what they know. Obviously, they know more than
CHP
me.
discussing the possibility of setting up a spike strip soon
So it
against
just
the
seems
North
like
River
I don't know. It
Western
doesn't seem like
Alabama.
this guy's probably all that dangerous.
And with that,
Like maybe it
key
would be okay if
drivers
you just stop
on
the
roads
car,
there,
just get out. You know, you don't have to
slower
like.
speeds, this could be an opportunity to lay out a spike strip.
You don't have to like go rip them out of the car or anything, but you think you could just disable the car.
Could this be another false alarm? We've seen this driver at least 4 times.
Mental health
now.
issue. That's what
Slow
I
down,
think,
appear to stop.
Charles.
Perhaps consider surrendering and then continue going.
I think that most of the time that we see a chase like this one, that's what it is.
Back on Central Avenue.
Cop Euro time.
You saw
Yeah.
that school crossing
Should we
back
count
there
that?
On Highland Avenue. Thank goodness, of course, this is not happening during the day. With students and other pedestrians. out
I
on
think
these
we need to
streets.
count it. I think dude
No
is
other
right.
cars. We are hearing CHP discussing the possibility of laying out a spike strip.
Why? All right. You spike strip him, but you just don't want to pit move.
Back onto
He's
Huntington
going like the
Drive.
perfect speed for it.
And you'll recall this is where the suspected DUI
Yeah, I
driver
agree, Merle. I
exited
mean, he's definitely not like under the
around
influence of
6:05
alcohol,
earlier.
right?
And that was part 2 of this driver's drive on the 605.
He's
Exited
not taking
once the
downers.
Irwindale area got back onto the 605 North and then exited at Huntington Drive.
This car chase is training for the cops, is what Ghost says.
Now I'm seeing something on the driver's side. Was that a hand?
No,
Was that an extended arm that we just
You're
saw come out
right,
the window?
Merle. If they pit him, he'll just start driving again if they don't disable the vehicle. But the idea of the pit move is to stall the car
They've got
and
air
like
brakes
actually stop them
ground
from being
units
able to
on
go
this
anymore. So
person
you might have to do that a few
trying
times,
to
but you
get
know.
this suspected DUI driver into custody safely. Right turn now off Central. That looks like
Is that what this is, a stolen vehicle?
we're doing circles.
To be honest, I don't know. They said DUI. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
And if you can make out that straight sign, we're still on Central.
This might be his car.
Approaching Highland again.
They passed a Cybertruck? I missed it.
Still westbound on Central. Slowing down again makes us wonder if perhaps this time the driver might stop.
Every car has an inertia switch that cuts the fuel off when
Yep,
disrupted by sudden
continuing down
movements.
Central.
There you go. If you do a spin or a rollover, your car has an inertia switch, and that's what the pit move is trying to do, is trigger that switch. So it'll cut the fuel off, it'll stop the car, stall the car. And, I mean, it doesn't work every time, but if they get it just right, the person can't keep driving.
And you can see a couple
Prediction
other
is
drivers in
over.
the
Good
area
call.
here,
Good call, Skull.
as
Good
the
one.
pursuit continues along Central Avenue. Likely wondering
Almost
what in the
everyone
world is
said
going
no.
on with
I don't blame you. I would have
multiple
said no,
stage
too.
units
So who cleaned up?
in
Who got the
pursuit of this
points?
sedan. Unfortunately, it is moving
Hunter and
slowly
RRR.
for other drivers to process what's going
Pulled
on.
it off.
Move out of the way if they need to.
All right. Let's do it again. I think this one could, honestly, at this point, I think
Fastest
it could
we've seen
last
this driver
hours. I
go
seriously think this
was
could go on
about
forever
90
at this
miles per
point.
hour on the freeway
Like,
earlier.
this could go on for a
Again, this time
long
in
time.
Monterey Park area, eastbound 10, off the freeway, back on the 10, westbound, northbound 605.
What's up, KO?
Off the 605, back on the northbound 605, and here we are now, still in the Duarte area. Suspected DUI driver slowing to a crawl here on Central Avenue in that center lane, poised to continue along Central Avenue. And we'll see if these CHP officers do what they did at a couple other intersections when the driver came to a stop. If they'll open their doors and get out and demand this driver surrender.
I wonder what it sounds like on the ground. What the fuck is Gamerpool doing here, man? He's just trying to enjoy the chase.
Brighter because the airship is overhead, shining the night sunlight down on this pursuit driver.
And
Suspected
talk his
DUI
shit.
driver. And they waited for this light to turn, continuing along.
Following the
Central
rules of the
Avenue.
road for the most part, you know. Except that one point when he was driving 90, but otherwise. The cops are the ones driving on the wrong side of the road. Not talking shit? Okay.
And we are just crawling at about 15 miles per hour.
So slow right now.
Still crawling. CHP keeping pace with this pursuit driver. Bradbury and Central Avenue. Okay, turning into another
All right.
lot here.
This don't look good.
Parking structure. This driver took us through, and it was right into the parking structure and back out a minute later.
Is that where we are?
Ignoring that stop sign.
Are we going into a parking garage? No?
And I got the control room in my ear. I got you loud and clear.
Okay. Guys, this could go on fucking all night.
Copy that. And just a reminder for everybody streaming with us here tonight, our show starts in about 2 minutes. We'll, of
He's
course,
effed,
continue covering
yeah.
This pursuit that started in Monterey Park with Monterey Park.
It's
continuing
not-
Pursuit. A suspected DUI driver here. It has
Late
gone
night? Yeah, I
on
mean,
and
I'm here
off the
for it.
freeways, and we are just
What kind of
doing
car is that? I'm not
circles
sure.
Here, waiting for this driver to run out of gas.
What kind of car is that? It's a Honda Accord. Okay.
Copy that. We are about a minute out from the top of our newscast.
Is there a Shazam for cars?
This
Arab
driver
says
now
it's a
getting
Nissan
back
Sentra.
onto the freeway.
Dude,
This
what's the
time
difference between
to
a Honda
West.
Accord, a Nissan Sentra? Like, all these cars are the same thing, right?
Appearing to.
really was the
under
difference.
210, turning off of Central Avenue.
The Toyota Corolla. The engine, I guess.
Okay, left turn onto Evergreen. Now in the Monrovia area.
The dashboard gamer post. Right. That's what it is. Most people on the yes side this time. Yo, I think maybe I influenced them, RZ. I was like, man, this could go on forever, right? I believe that, though. Especially if we're getting on the freeway now. What is this? No, we're getting off the freeway. What?
We've been overhead on this pursuit for close to an hour now. This started in the Monterey Park area. This driver, again, a suspected DUI
Is that a
driver,
Cybertruck?
led
Yeah, I
initially
guess. Is
Monterey
that what that
Park
thing is?
Police, eastbound on the 10 freeway. This then exited the freeway. It was headed northbound. It turned, headed back southbound, and then got back onto the 10. It was headed westbound before getting on the 605.
Whoa, here comes a cop.
And you can see here live, California Highway Patrol
Good try,
attempting
dude.
to lay out what looks like a spike strip here, but this driver making a quick right turn. We're now on Mountain Avenue.
What's
We're
up,
back in the
Tech
Durant
IRL?
area
What's
now.
going on?
Again, suspected DUI driver. This started with Monterey Park Police. Now California Highway Patrol in hot pursuit. This has been on 3 freeways now, eastbound 10, westbound 10, and then northbound 605
He was
before
totally
this driver
stopped.
exited Huntington Drive. Now, before you came to us live as we were streaming, you could see this driver really slowing to
That
a
was brutal,
crawl,
man.
going 10 to 15 miles per hour,
That
even
was
stopping a couple
brutal.
times for up to a minute at intersections and even along the right-hand shoulder of the 605 north. But not once have we seen this driver, this suspected DUI driver, actually make an attempt to
Pedro,
get out
what's
of the
up?
car and perhaps surrender to CHP. You saw that airship flying through our shot. They have air resources on this, ground resources as well. As we widen out this shot, you can count with us the number of CHP units in hot pursuit. We've got 1, 2, 3 right there. Fortunately, what we have not seen here is this driver doing anything
Dude, he's gonna hit a dead end or something.
recklessly endangering the lives of pedestrians or other drivers. We have not seen any near crashes, and we unfortunately do see that with a number of pursuits that we cover in LA. But this
Julia?
driver continuing now on
fuck
Euclid
was that?
Avenue.
Julia, it's Colleen. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay, they're there. Oh my god.
Got you loud and
It's
clear,
like,
Colleen.
what the hell?
Okay, the one thing you've noticed, because we've been watching this for about 45
Who's
minutes
that
or so
guy?
while you were
What was that
streaming
guy
as
doing?
well, is that the driver, this is some of the fastest speeds that we've seen, except for being on the freeway at one
What
point
was
going
that dude
60 to 90
doing?
miles an hour. On surface streets, he's been doing pretty much 20 to 30 miles an hour. You would think that's an optimum time to pit and stop this car. They've come very
Yeah.
close, but they haven't done a pit maneuver yet.
That is
True.
exactly right. We've been keeping an ear on the scanners as well. We have heard a couple conversations on the CHP scanner about possibly setting up a spike strip, but you're right, Colleen. It could be an opportunity with light traffic, no traffic around at other times to do a pit maneuver, but we have not seen that. We have not heard anything about a possible pit maneuver. Unclear why they are holding back from doing that. Again, a suspected DUI driver here. This has been going on for close to an hour now. This driver is eventually just going to run out of gas.
Marco,
Well,
I
the
don't
other
think
thing
that was
I
good
couldn't help but
Samaritan.
notice is that
I don't know.
several
Maybe
times
it
the car
was.
has
It
stopped
was
at
too
an
weird.
intersection. There's been a conversation between the CHP officers, or at one point in the beginning with Monterey Park. So there's actually been some sort of communication between the driver behind the wheel and the black and white patrol units directly behind and chasing him.
That is what this situation appears to be. Now, we unfortunately cannot hear Monterey Park police. Their scanner is encrypted. But we could see this driver, this suspected DUI driver, reaching for some kind of device in their car earlier. Perhaps a phone. Perhaps that light that we saw was their phone.
Looked like a
screen, and
cell phone
maybe
to
that
me.
was a call that was being
Considering
placed.
everybody
But
on the
yes, we
planet
have
is
heard
carrying
CHP
one of
talking
those
about
around, that's
communication
probably what it
between,
was.
CHP and Monterey Park PD and this driver.
And where is he
Okay,
right now?
turning
Is this
now into another parking lot. This is now the third, at least the third time we've seen this driver turning into a parking lot.
what is this? Is this an apartment building, commercial area?
My stream is
It looks like a
LSD?
commercial
No.
area. As we come out a little bit wider, you can see the bright lights near the top of the screen. It looks like there are restaurants there.
Okay, and now he
Okay.
appears to be in more of a residential area. Give us an idea of what street we're on here, Julia.
That's right. This is now Duarte Road,
Duarte Road,
and,
you're
it
in
does look like a residential area.
and you're in Duarte now.
That is correct.
What was the original want on this?
First, we were hearing simply failure to yield, but then it
I'm
became
surprised
clear
they haven't
is
done
a
this pit move
suspected
yet.
DUI driver. So we are, of course, on high alert for anything reckless this driver may
GP, you got
do.
a virus.
But it has been a fairly slow speed pursuit off the freeways.
Off the freeways, he's over 40 miles an hour, between 30 and 40 at this point. Again, that's some of the fastest we've seen this car move all evening. Do we know how many people are in the car?
Yeah.
We don't have this confirmed, but from what we can see, and we have been on the driver's side of this car.
GP,
we've been
you're
on
the only
passenger
one
side.
having
We've gone in
problem.
with the doublers on our camera once, twice, three times. We have not seen any signs of other occupants, just the driver at this point.
Does it surprise you not to see very much traffic out there on a Friday night?
You know what? I did comment a couple times on that.
Hey, Tom and Wade,
even
what's
at this time
up?
of night on a Friday, you would expect more cars.
The radio shouldn't be encrypted.
but
Yeah,
yes,
I don't
it's
know
good
how do
news.
they get away
and-
with that
and
shit.
We see this driver
I don't know, man.
rolling down the window at this intersection, Business Center Drive in Duarte.
And again, we've seen that several times, at least half a dozen by my count, where the drivers rolled down the window. At
Yeah,
some point,
Duarte's
even
dead
extended his
at,
or her hands
11
outside the window
on a
and had some sort of
Friday.
communication with the officers behind him. Give us an idea of what we're looking at here.
Driving
Are we
in circles,
on a
yeah,
residential
Tech.
street? Have we pulled out of that commercial area?
Just ridiculous at
Or
this
are we
point.
back in a
So
parking
it
lot?
looks.
Just
so it
going
looks
in
like
these
what that
parking
driver
lots
just
and
did
shit.
as
This is
we were
so
zoomed in
silly.
there, they sped up a little bit and drove through Business Center Drive back to Evergreen, and now this
Shit's
maneuver,
ridiculous.
right, turning in circles, going back down the same roads. This is something that we've been seeing.
Dude, this
since
remind me of like
we
those.
got eyes on this pursuit.
I've
Yep, that's on
streamed
Business Center
several
Drive.
chases like
This
this.
could be an area where
Like
it
real late
looks
at night. The person
like
is
office
just
buildings.
driving endlessly,
And again,
And
like
these are right turn
slowly,
again.
and the police
These
aren't
are
pitting them.
CHP
I've seen this
officers
same
in
chase
pursuit
before,
here.
dude. And
That
I
is
remember
correct.
one of
California
them, and
Highway
this was
Patrol,
like
they took this over from Monterey
probably like
Park
3.5
Police after
years
it
ago.
started in the Monterey Park area. Of course, when it got onto
eventually,
the freeways, it was
this
eastbound
guy
of 10
came and
initially.
pulled up in a
Monterey Park
truck
handed this to California Highway
because he was
Patrol.
sitting at home
But, we
watching
can
this
hear on the
chase for
scanners,
2 hours,
CHP scanners,
and he
that
was like,
Monterey
"Fucking
Park
police
was
aren't doing
initially still
anything."
behind this car. As we
So
pointed
he
out, though,
showed
you can
up
see for now it's just
and took matters
these
into his own hands,
3 CHP units.
and he
and,
actually
of course, the
managed
airship
to end the
overhead
chase.
with us.
Like it actually
Julia, what is
worked,
the freeway
but
you're
not in the
paralleling
way
there?
that he thought it was going to. It was not
That,
good.
if I am not mistaken,
It was
is
really
the
bad.
210. We are now
But
on Central Avenue. Back
He actually
on
did
Central
succeed.
Avenue.
He just caused the driver to drive
city of
off of
Duarte?
a parking structure. The vigilante truck guy. Yeah.
Once
He's-
again, as we look
He
at
made the
this,
suspect
this would
like
seem to
freak
be a
out, and
perfect
then
time
the
to
suspect
initiate
just
any
drove
kind
off
pit
of a
maneuver
fucking
or put
parking
out spike
lot
strips.
and just like
there are not
flipped
very
the
many
vehicle,
cars
flipped
out
the
there on
SUV.
the road.
Now,
I say not very many. I haven't seen
extension
any
of that
cars so
business.
far at
It's
all.
on my channel. I've got a
Julia,
stream
can
of
you
it.
give us an idea of what you're coming up on? here?
I chopped it down because it was literally like
now
2.5,
that
3
night
hours.
sunlight from the airship
The
overhead,
news station left and came back,
see if we can get
and
a
it was
better shot
already
of
like
who
2
is in
a.m.
This black sedan.
Prediction time is over. Good call, Silas. And that chase was super boring. The one that I'm talking about is fucking super boring.
Okay, near the 605 now, turning off of Central Avenue into this alleyway. Now, we've seen this maneuver as well.
But the very ending was super
earlier,
exciting
driving
then.
through what appeared to
Very
be a
boring. All of a
private
sudden,
alleyway.
just this crazy ending.
Is that a park? Or a golf
I
course?
think he's
or
going to
something, all
eventually
that
hit a
green on
dead
one
end or
side?
something, right?
It appears to be. And
Okay.
this is now
Now,
close to a residential area.
we will predict, is this going to last
Are
for
there any
another
other
15
landmarks,
minutes?
or does it appear there are cul-de-sacs?
1
Does
hour?
this guy know the area? I mean, what's your best gauge
Okay, we're
on this?
parallel to the 605 North now. And this pursuit had two stretches earlier on the 605. Northbound both times.
Does it appear
Before
he's
exiting at Huntington Drive and leading us in circles on surface streets here.
does it appear he's looking to get back on the freeway and is just trying to find his way out of this residential area? Julia, can you hear me?
Julia,
We appear to have lost the audio on this, but we're going to stay with the picture here.
Just stick
As
with
you can
it.
see, they're still in Duarte. Let's listen in.
okay.
One of those
Incoming
majors
dead
that
end, dude. It's
continue
going to
along this
happen.
alleyway, behind backyards. We have not seen any pedestrians, so that. at least
Daniel says,
is,
yeah, I don't know,
yes, it is a
man.
little
This chase
surprising
is suspect
to
as
me,
hell.
how little
Seems like they're hanging
traffic
back and playing it
there is
passively
around
an
this corridor.
unnatural amount, even from a safety perspective. Daniel, I'm
Once
with
again,
you.
we're in the city of Duarte right now. Appears to be in a residential area on Huntington Drive.
But I've
in
seen
Los-
this before
Los
plenty
Lomas
of
there.
times. I know
if
it
you're
doesn't
just
make
now
sense
joining us,
every
let me
time.
just let
You're
you
right.
know what
but
we know about this.
It's not
This started
unusual.
in Monterey Park this evening with a suspected DUI. Monterey Park police followed him on surface streets out there. We've seen a lot of this stop and go, and it
He's hanging out, yelling at the police right now.
as he's turning the corner there, the window's down. He almost appears to be communicating. Again, this was
He's
originally
trying,
in Monterey
man.
Park.
He's pleading his
PD
case.
there followed him for quite a while. When he got
What do you
on
think
the
he's
freeway,
saying?
the 10 freeway and the 605 freeway, that's when the CHP took over, and it would appear the CHP is with him now. We've been
Yeah,
watching him
Bender, I'm with
very
you.
erratic driving.
Dude, they just
very,
talk.
Very, very
You know what I
slow
mean? They just
speeds.
talk.
Sometimes you see him right now under 10 miles an hour, cutting through driveways. Looks like now the CHP is almost getting a little
yo,
more
Lee, what's up?
aggressive here.
I can't pull over anymore.
And I'm wondering if we could bring Julia back in. Huntington Drive once again. In the
Ghost
city
says
of
it's a
Duarte.
training
He almost
chase.
appears to be going in circles, going through many
Stop
parking
tailgating
lots
me, bro.
there. And in fact, at
I
one
hope
point we
that's
saw him
what
drive
he's
into a
saying.
parking garage, turn around and come out the other side with a with about 4 or 5 black and white patrol cars behind him. We can bring up her audio again. Julia, are you with us?
Okay.
All right, Tony. Get some sleep. Thanks for coming through. Check the VOD later
Julia,
to see
can you hear me
however it
now?
ends. Probably with
I
him
got
just
you
like
loud and
going
clear
into
now,
a dead
Colleen.
end or something boring.
IFB is breaking up here. Radios are getting a little scratchy as we near the hour mark of this California Highway Patrol pursuit. We are now back onto Foothill Boulevard, East Foothill Boulevard, back in the Irwindale area.
Dude, they do have a real
Now, you
pursuit.
saw a couple minutes ago this suspected
like
DUI
school.
driver
It's a real
stopping
thing.
at an intersection,
They
leaning
go
out
to
of their
school
window and saying something
chase people.
to CHP officers, visibly
What's up,
agitated.
Subatomics? Shout out to Subatomics.
And then they did what they've done at least half a dozen times by our count. They continued this pursuit. Southbound Irwindale Avenue now, back in Irwindale, California.
So is that paralleling what, the 210 or the 10 freeway or the 605 there?
At the 605.
The 605. Again, this area seems to be very familiar. He keeps going back to the place. We've seen him go through this area before. And the CHP
Dude.
almost appears to be getting a little more aggressive now.
Are they?
Is that what it looks like to you?
We're just doing the
That
same
is
shit.
what it looks like to me. You see them doing it right here as
I
this
don't know. I think he's
driver,
just gonna start driving dumber.
turns through this parking lot. Earlier, we could see CHP essentially keeping pace with this driver when they slowed to speeds of 10
The
to 15 miles
Sriracha
per
factory is
hour.
in the city?
These California Highway Patrol units on the ground would do the same. It looks like they're closing that gap now. Could they perhaps be setting up for a pit maneuver? We saw what looked like an attempt to set up spike strips earlier. That, of course, did not work. The driver made a quick right turn and maneuvered away from that.
What's also interesting about this, if this was a suspected DUI driver and not a stolen car, then they could run the plates and find out who's behind the wheel here.
Dirty Ono, what's
Correct?
up? Slipstream, welcome.
They could. There could be additional wants on this. What
They
we're
actually,
hearing,
when they get real
is simply
close up on
suspected
him like
DUI
that, it
driver
changes.
failure to
He
yield.
starts
Either
driving
way, this is
faster.
going to be a felony
He was
stop,
driving really slow for
whenever
like
this
10
driver
minutes.
does either decide to give it up or run out of
And now he's
gas.
back to going 50.
How often does that happen where they let a driver go like this until they run out of gas? I don't remember one.
I think it's strange
in
that
a
they're
very
still
long
following
time.
him at all. What? I mean,
have
whatever.
seen-
I guess it's because he's out.
It
They
seems
are
like
worried that
anything and
he's a danger to the
everything
public.
on
Like he's
these
clearly having
pursuits,
some
but
kind of
this
mental
has
break.
been going
but like,
on for longer
the fuck?
than recent pursuits we've covered involving all agencies. This, again, is California Highway Patrol now, but it started with Monterey Park Police.
Give us an
And
idea.
Colleen,
Now
you
we
made
know
point
he's just
earlier, we
going to
don't
the
know what they're
Sriracha
waiting for,
factory.
to attempt a pit maneuver.
Yeah, it looks like they backed off.
It all
once
makes
again. Give us
sense
an
now.
idea, Julia, of where we are at this point and what's ahead for this driver.
North Todd Avenue now, Azusa. And we don't know if this driver is going to continue along Todd Avenue or perhaps start turning circles again. We've seen them entering alleyways, parking lots, driving through that business park, and then again, we've seen this before as well. This driver stopping, leaning
Oh,
out
he's
the
got his
window
hands out
again.
now.
Does that look like,
Nope, psych.
I was going to say, does it look like hands up? But before I could even get the words out of my mouth, this driver continued.
Yeah, there's no cars anywhere. I mean, there's
And
one.
to the
All right,
best of
two.
our knowledge, it
But
looks
for the
like
most
there may
part,
be
it's just
one
dead
person
out
in this
here.
car. I know the windows are pretty heavily tinted, but we've only seen the driver and nobody on the passenger side.
That's correct. We see some
Nobody would
items
ride in the car with
in the
somebody
back,
doing this right
but
now.
We have not seen any signs of the other occupants, just the driver for now. Driving now with that driver's side window down,
Kevin,
leaning
what's
out
up?
every so often to gesture at
Guys, hit the
police
thumbs up on
and
YouTube if you haven't.
say what we don't know. But California Highway Patrol
Like,
did say earlier that there was communication between this driver and Monterey Park PD, the agency, of course, that initiated this pursuit.
When you say communication,
Okay, Charles
you mean
says he got
what
the-
we've
got him
seen
on
here
the
where the
scanner
driver
now.
is out the window and shouting back at the officers, or have they been able to communicate with him on a cell phone as well? Do we know?
he's got the
That
hazards
we
on. He
don't know.
does.
We don't know if these California Highway Patrol officers or CHP has been in communication with the driver. We did hear earlier that Monterey Park PD, the initiating agency on this pursuit, may have been in communication with the driver. We do know the driver has some kind of device in that car, and perhaps a phone. We saw them reaching for earlier.
Yo, Kenny, what's up?
And then, of
We
course, just
are
that
almost
ground
1 hour
communication,
into
the
this
car-to-car
chase now.
communication every so often when they stop at intersections, leaning out the window and shouting something.
I can tell you as well, our assignment desk has been working this from inside the station here, and they have reached out to Monterey Park Police, and I'm told they have declined to return our phone calls for information on this. As we watch this and you realize the number of pit maneuver opportunities they may have missed, you have to wonder if the driver might be having some sort of mental health crisis as well.
That's what I've been saying for an hour. But
That is
they
always a concern.
are not
And of
doing a pit
course,
move. They're not doing
Keeping in mind the
anything.
safety of other drivers.
And every time they get up too close to him, he takes
But
off.
I'm
But
sure
not that they've
there's
really
more
even.
to
I
it.
mean,
I'm
they
sure
could have hit
there's
him with the
more
pit
to
move, I
this story.
think.
I know our assignment desk has been
Right now would be a
working their
perfectly
contacts,
good time
trying
to
to
do
get in
it.
touch with the initiating agency, Monterey Park Police, trying to learn more about not just what's happening here, but what led to this pursuit. Of course, if this is not a stolen vehicle and this is being driven by the rightful owner, simply running that license plate could lead to more information.
Again, still in the city of Azusa on West Foothill Boulevard at this point.
Foothill Boulevard, Azusa. We were just here, making a right-hand turn now, back onto Todd Avenue.
CM is watching Subatomics watching
What is
you. Wait, I'm on
surprising
both
is the
of their
lack
channels.
Traffic out there this evening, both on the freeways when we watch this and on surface streets. And of course, in, what is this, another parking lot?
It is another parking lot cut right across Todd Avenue there after turning right off of Foothill Boulevard.
This is wild.
Another parking lot. You know, you have to wonder, does this driver think they're going to shake CHP by turning into parking lots, driving through
No,
these
they don't
narrow
think
alleyways?
that.
Not
Definitely
at
do
10
not think
miles an
they're
hour.
about to get away. I mean, maybe.
Yep, back to speeds
It's still going. Yeah, nothing's happened.
50, 60
Hodor,
miles per
like
hour.
nothing
now, the
is going
fastest
on
we
here.
have seen this driver going.
We're just
was
waiting to
earlier
see.
on
I
the
mean, maybe
freeway,
something
about
crazy will
90
happen.
miles
There's
per
still
hour.
a good
But
chance of
back
that.
on
It's
East
just
Foothill Boulevard now.
nothing
in
so
Irwindale.
far. Not much.
Julia, how many patrol cars are following him now? And do you still have the law enforcement chopper overhead as well?
We do. It appears we still have 3 California Highway Patrol units pursuing the suspected DUI driver, airship overhead, and we are
Watching
not
CM,
hearing,
watching Subby,
any
watching Sneeze. I love
plans
it.
To
That's beautiful.
try a pit maneuver.
Hello, everyone in
Irwindale
those
Avenue.
places.
Well, he's certainly picked up speed.
And
Is he getting back on the
onto
freeway?
the freeway.
Which one?
Westbound 210. Westbound 210 now. So again, this started in Monterey Park, eastbound on the 10, off the freeway, westbound on the 10, northbound on the 605, off the 605, back on the 605, northbound, and then off the 605 for quite a stretch of time. Now westbound on the 210.
What is interesting is the 210, that stretch out there has seen a lot of Caltrans workers, especially on the weekends and late at night. And you have to wonder if he will run into some of that. I just saw a sign for the 605. Is he headed in that direction again?
It appears he is in that right-hand lane. So transitioning, if he stays in that lane, from the 210 west back to the 605. And yes, we hope
Josh,
they don't
you're
run
right.
into any Caltrans workers
Eventually.
doing late night work here on the freeway. You saw this driver earlier. It was on the 605 north, veering off to the right-hand shoulder and stopping momentarily
Eventually.
there.
So 605 south
Back
now?
on the 605, southbound this time.
Kenny
from the
says he got a
210 west.
DUI in the same place 12 years ago.
You have to wonder with speeds now 65, 75 miles an hour if the CHP might be a little more aggressive in their tactics. Obviously, those speeds are too fast for any kind of pit maneuver, but if they'll tighten up the gap between this driver and those
We're on freeway
patrol
now.
units.
And as you say it, Colleen, we see this CHP unit in the lead appearing to do just that, closing that gap ever so slightly. But there may have been some missed opportunities off the freeway earlier for a
Are
pit
they- is he
maneuver,
gonna stay
perhaps
off?
another spike strip attempt. I think we see this car's blinker now.
Yeah, it looks like his flashers are going.
He's had him on for
Both
a
of
while.
them. Or is it just the one on the
What
right-hand
car is
side?
it, dude? It's
It's
some
hard to see from
bullshit
this
car,
angle.
CM.
Let
It
me
don't even
adjust the
matter.
lighting here. It could be
It's
both.
like
It
a
could
Honda
be
Accord or
hazards.
something. Nissan Sentra.
Still
Another
in-
warning for other drivers on the road that this is not business as usual. As I widen out, you can see 1, 2, 3 CHP units still in pursuit here.
They could
And
easily
amazingly,
pit.
very
Yeah,
little
stealth.
traffic
I don't
ahead.
know,
Still
man.
in Irwindale on the 605 south. So the
We are
first
about to
freeway
cross
he
the
will come
1
up
hour
upon
mark on
is-
this chase. 1 hour.
You know
What?
what? Let me
The-
get
All
the
right.
map
I
and
didn't see
make
this
sure
coming, but
we
I'm here
get
for it. I'm
the-
prepared.
I
The
believe that is
60 or-
correct. The 60.
Okay. Has he
It's gonna
been
be the
on the
60.
60 at all, or has it just been the 10 and the 605 and the 210?
No, during our time
Okay, we're
overhead
gonna
on
do
this pursuit,
another,
it's just been
prediction.
the 10 and then the 605, the 210, and then back on the 605. And when I say the 10, of course, it was eastbound 10, westbound 10, 605 north,
New prediction up.
off the 605, 210 west, and now 605 south.
Julia, what is he doing now?
Okay, exiting now.
Altimas are ratchet cars, yeah.
Arrow
Sonata,
Highway
maybe it's a
eastbound,
Sonata or an
Irwindale.
Altima or fucking whatever. It's a Sentra,
It's so dark
Altima,
out there right now. Can
Accord,
you paint a picture for us?
Sonata.
Is this
It's
an
all
industrial
these
area?
cars. It's all of them.
It is, and we've seen this driver leading California Highway Patrol through a variety of areas, business parks, industrial areas, residential areas, along a dam, through alleyways, through very narrow private alleyways that were practically in backyards. But
Noir,
eastbound now on
no,
Arrow
no.
Highway
We're not
after
even in
exiting
that type
the
of range.
605 south.
Longest
still in
police
Irwindale.
chase was like 6 hours or something.
Have they backed off him once again?
Yeah, Kenny, I didn't fill up my water bottle before I ran here. I got a little bit, but
Eastbound on Arrow Highway now.
I didn't think I'd be
paused
sitting here for an
just
hour.
now. I thought I heard on the California Highway Patrol scanner a conversation about attempting a pit maneuver, but the response that I picked up was not at this time. So I'm not sure what they're waiting for. I'm not sure what the reasoning behind that is. But again, no attempts to do a pit here on this suspected DUI driver.
And
All
again,
right.
if you're just now joining us, this was the want on
No,
this
Skull,
was,
there's like 5 of them.
DUI stop, suspected DUI
Maybe
driver here
6.
in Monterey Park.
Yo, Lord, thank
no
you.
doubt law enforcement has had an opportunity to run the plates here. They know who's driving. They've also had an opportunity to come almost face to face with this driver. As he pulls around the corner, he will often stop, roll down the window, and have some sort of conversation with law enforcement behind him.
The car is pretty shitty. Probably doesn't go over 110.
And as this continues,
Okay, I mean, he was going
back
90 at
on
one point.
River Grade
But
Drive,
that's
Colin,
probably
you were
about as
asking
high as it
earlier,
goes,
You know, is this an area the driver might
realistically.
be familiar with? Yeah, possibly. This is our 4th, 5th pass on River Grade Drive. But we're going to try and go in a little bit tighter just to get some definitive answers about who is and is not in this vehicle. We're not seeing anybody else, but we're now on the passenger side. We can get a better look. We're going to go in with a double RNC.
You know, I haven't asked you, Julia, what kind of car is this? It's hard to tell. It's a sedan?
It is a black sedan. I can't make out make or model, but black sedan,
And again,
black
on live.
four-door sedan.
Yeah,
You wouldn't
on
know your
Live
hope you're
Oak
on-
right now,
dude.
once again in Irwindale.
I
They're
think,
doing what?
I don't even
Almost
know.
50 miles, a little over 50 miles an hour.
About 50 miles per hour, Live Oak Avenue. If that sounds familiar, we were on Live Oak earlier from River Grade. We were stopped at this intersection. We're stopping for this red light now. You see that CHP unit creeping a little bit closer. All 3 of them now closing in, but they're not moving to do what they did earlier and getting out of the car and demanding this driver stop.
Well-
From our vantage point now, we also don't see the driver leaning out the window and shouting at these officers.
We've seen that exact scenario at least 8 to 10 times this evening so far. People stop,
We have.
they inch closer, they wait a couple of seconds, and then he takes off again. Although he's,
Liam,
again,
what's up?
not speeding by any stretch of the imagination.
Did he stop at the red? Yeah.
We
He's
have
been
seen
stopping a
that
lot.
so many times, I've lost count.
He's been following the
up here.
rules of the road a lot.
And you know, we can speculate about any number of reasons why it has
It's a
unfolded that way,
Hyundai?
but perhaps California Highway Patrol has more information about the driver, about what he or she may have in the car,
Really?
about their condition, about what led to this pursuit, which again started with Monterey Park Police. Our assignment desk is working to get more information. Because I'm sure the situation that unfolded before we got
Oh,
overhead,
Sven, what's up?
may paint a clear picture of what's happening now and how California Highway Patrol is handling this.
Julia, we're on Live Oak Avenue in Irwindale, and of course, he just flipped around there on Arrow Highway. For people who are not familiar with the area, what is out there? What's around there right now?
There are business parks. There are industrial areas. Earlier, there were
Jimmy
residential
Opa,
areas. This driver
welcome.
let us through. As I widen out, you can get a look. What we don't see are other drivers in this area. So, no traffic. I mean, this could
How
be
is
an
this gonna
attempt.
end?
This could be an opportunity for another spike strip attempt, but we are not hearing
The
or
scanner
seeing
says it's a
California Highway
Hyundai.
Patrol
Kenny says it's a Nissan
take any
Sentra.
Is
action
there
in that
another?
direction.
I think
Is there
Kenny's
another
right.
patrol car
Or-
ahead
but
that
I
you
don't
can
know.
see, just as you look out the window there?
The cops are saying it's a
Somebody-
Hyundai,
You know,
Oh,
I'm
Kenny.
not
there
seeing
is.
anything out.
Well,
That's what
there
the cops
is right
say.
there, just at the bottom of the screen, center of the screen now, but he's not turning
Yes.
in that direction.
That's right. That may actually be. I'm going to widen out
Shinobi,
and try and keep
what's
eyes
up?
on the
Hello.
vehicle. But there was a Monterey Park police unit earlier that was
Eli, what's up?
in the Irwindale area
Hit
still.
the thumbs up, guys. It's free.
assisting,
It's
I
easy.
believe,
It's
with this
nice.
pursuit. What we saw back
Fox
there,
has
bottom
another
of the
angle,
screen,
yeah.
there was an officer
That's the same one
standing
CBS
outside
was
of that
doing
unit.
earlier.
It looked to me
I've got
like
that
another
over here.
California Highway Patrol unit. So
But
we've got
the one that
three
we
in
were
pursuit
watching was a little
tailing
behind.
this vehicle, airship overhead, and then the one that you spotted, Colleen, with the officer standing outside. So that would
Well,
be number 4.
Obviously, he's not holding back traffic. There was no traffic there. So I'm
Hey,
wondering if
thank
there
you
was
for
a spike strip
following.
thrown out. Could you
Noir.
tell at all?
I didn't see one. Just in that quick moment where we widened out. I didn't
Brandon
see one.
says
But
it ends
earlier,
with the
I believe
shootout.
The spike strip attempt,
not.
the one and only that we caught, was made by an officer who was stopped
That
at an
spike strip
intersection
attempt
just
is
like that.
calling that an attempt is
So I'm not sure if that could signal
an
some
insult to all
progress here
spike
in
strips.
attempting to stop this driver.
Again, we're on Arrow Highway
Snark,
in
what's up?
Irwindale. Can you give us an idea of which direction we're going in?
Eastbound on Arrow Highway through
Eastbound.
Irwindale. We are back at the Santa Fe Dam, and it was that dead end earlier.
Oh
that
shit! Are
forced
they gonna
this
do
driver
something
to
here?
make a left turn.
No.
Look at a
Okay, so
U-turn
what's
now.
Almost.
interesting
It's
there
probably
is
a
that
Versa.
officer almost had to go out of his
Okay.
way not to do a pit
They're
maneuver.
saying it's a Hyundai.
As
What
they
is that? An
came around that
Elantra?
U-turn.
What is their
that officer,
plain
that CHP
car like this
vehicle
one?
was in front of that car and held back to let him go.
That was an interesting maneuver. Atypical. I don't know if that maneuver has a name, but as we get back on the 605 North here,
I don't think it
these
has a
California
name.
Highway Patrol units doing, Colleen, what you noted earlier, driving perhaps a little more aggressively, closing this gap. And here we are, back on the freeway
Except he
in
seems to
Irwindale,
be,
605 North.
yeah, he was riding the shoulder there for quite a while.
He was. He was stopped on the shoulder early on in this pursuit. That was on
On
the
Fox, I
605
saw the
North.
driver. Yeah, we did
But he's
too.
back on the
We were
605
watching it
North
on CBS
after
for a minute. We saw the
exiting
driver.
605 South from the 210 West. Not sure if there's a clear destination here, but the number of times we have been led through this area of Irwindale makes me wonder if it's an area that is familiar to this driver. Okay, looks like
Oh, they got it on
they
Good
are
Night
setting up to get
LA.
on the 210
And
now.
they got it on CBS? It's the same helicopter, right?
You know, if there's any kind of plan here, the plan almost appears to be tighten up when you get on the freeway and just sort of let him,
It's
when there's
definitely
no
not a
traffic around
Hyundai,
on surface
says
streets,
Kenny.
let him go.
Is the driver white?
That might be the plan.
I think he was
we are
white.
not hearing. We are not hearing anything else. When I heard chatter earlier on the scanner about a possible pit maneuver, the response that I thought I picked up was not at this time.
Well,
So
I can add to
earlier
that.
when this driver made a U-turn, it was like the CHP officer went out of their way to not make a pit attempt.
You know, Julia, I have a
Right.
little more information on that because, as I said, our assignment desk is working it from upstairs as well. They've been talking with the CHP, and the CHP says the pit was not approved for whatever reason. Still no official word on who's in the car, but they believe it is a man. And he, according to a CHP spokesperson, he's pretty agitated, whoever the driver is.
No shit.
Okay,
Thanks for all that
is
very
some new
obvious
about the
information.
pit maneuver not being authorized. Of course, the big question now is
Thanks.
why? What do they know about
They
this
haven't done a
man,
pit.
Who is visibly
It's a man.
agitated, leaning out the window
He's
to
agitated.
yell at CHP officers? What do they know about him, or what he may have in that car that led them to not authorize a pit maneuver when the driving conditions, at least, could have made for a good opportunity to try one? Now I'm
Once
going to turn
again-
the tables on you, Colleen, since you have new information from our assignment desk, who's been in touch with California Highway Patrol and Monterey Park Police. I'm wondering, in addition to the pit maneuver, has there been any official word on additional spike strip
No,
attempts?
not
Looks
at
like for
all.
exiting Urbandale.
Haven't covered that, but I am going
Okay.
to tell you what we're going to do. He's on the 210 now. He appears to be making a move still in Irwindale. Again, this started in Monterey Park. The CHP is covering it now. This is a suspected DUI driver. We're going to switch live to regular programming. The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. We will continue to cover this on NBC Los Angeles streaming, so please stay with us.
Yeah, exactly. And just, watching.
Yeah, I don't really, dude. These stations, it's the same shit. Two different angles, same shit.
And as we continue streaming, this pursuit that started in Monterey Park continues. We are back on Irwindale Avenue, southbound now. CHP in pursuit.
Yeah,
of this
Ghost, it's gotta be
suspected
'cause of the
DUI
phone.
driver Out of Monterey Park. So again, let's recap. This started in Monterey Park, eastbound 10, westbound 10, off the 10, 605 north, back onto 605.
Yeah, you
north
missed a
after
good
North
one,
Lake
Kenny, with the
City.
Mr. Tire guy.
And then
That
onto
was one of the. That
605
was maybe the
north.
most
210 west,
memorable
605
chase this
south,
year so far.
Off the freeway, 605 north, and now back in Irwindale. And the latest that we have confirmed with California Highway Patrol is that an earlier
He has a
pit maneuver
bomb.
was not authorized. An earlier attempt to do what we thought could be a pit maneuver was not authorized by the department. We're not sure why, but it appears to be a man.
Kenny says,
just
"Fuck
a
Jimmy
man
Fallon."
In this black sedan, suspected DUI driver. He is visibly agitated. Just turned onto South Motor Avenue, back in Azusa now.
I made multiple
pass through
YouTube
Azusa,
shorts
second
about the
by our
Mr.
count.
Tire thing.
Multiple stops in Irwindale off the freeway.
Okay.
And you see that California Highway Patrol unit that's been in the lead, occasionally closing that gap.
Yeah, check out the YouTube. Go watch the one that I made one where I actually scripted like a narration explaining the whole thing.
McKinley Street now. Making these tight turns. McKinley back on it, Irwindale. We are in Azusa now. Now the driving isn't getting a lot faster, but it does appear to be getting a little more erratic. You can see this driver ignoring lane markings. Northbound Irwindale now.
Thanks, Tech. Did the chat freeze on the screen? No? Okay. Okay. Dude's great at driving, I guess.
Eastbound 210.
I think I could do just as good, maybe. Maybe not. Chat, we need to move. Oh, I was just looking over. I thought it would like froze. Yeah, we do.
Now this is new. CHP, that unit that's in the lead, leading the pack of 3 ground units, moving to the adjacent lane. Now we do know they were not authorized earlier to do a pit maneuver.
Is behind
This
or
new configuration
froze?
Of officers behind the pursuit driver does make us wonder if perhaps that situation has changed.
It'll catch up, I think.
Driving the shoulder again this time.
I
on
need to
the
move to
210
LA, become
east.
Eliana's
We saw this
co-host, but
driver
you're
do
not
the
as hot.
speed earlier
Definitely
on
not.
the 605 north. And then
I could
briefly
offset her
spotted
hotness.
in the right-hand shoulder.
Hey, Polo, what's up?
The 210 east now.
What do the chasing cops do if they gotta pee? Polo, thank you for following. I think that they just don't have to pee. That's why they're cops. He's trolling them, yeah. He is.
Rolling right through that stop sign. Left turn
Cops wearing diapers.
onto Vernon Avenue here.
Yo, thank you for subscribing on YouTube.
CHP getting right up close.
My eyes are dry.
Westbound 210 now. We just got off the eastbound 210.
Prediction is over. Good call.
Setting up to
Oh my
possibly
God.
exit Irwindale here again. This time from the westbound 210.
Okay. Let's do it again.
These circles this driver is leading us on, just getting bigger and bigger. Now we are coming up on traffic. This driver
Okay, well, this
is
chase lasts for
losing
90
control,
minutes.
Hitting the brakes, getting out of the way. Probably a good move here as speed picks up. Driving right through the Gore Point there. Exiting Irwindale again.
It's going pretty quick
Again and
now.
Again from the 210 west. Veering left, veering right. Taking that right turn now onto Irwindale Avenue. Eastbound again. We're going to widen out.
We already been
There's a
here.
car coming out from behind that building. Not eastbound, northbound here on Irwindale. Looks like they're setting up to make a
Okay.
left turn.
They
on
always
Irwindale.
do this. They get out of the car. Yeah, I think the YouTube stopped showing up on the screen.
We see,
I can see your
CP
chats, but I don't think it shows up on
again
the screen.
stopping at this intersection, opening their doors.
I don't know why it does that,
Officers
man.
exiting
Streamlabs
the
is
car
all
this time, they
fucking
might be closing their
stupid.
doors, getting ready to
Is
make this left
YouTube as
turn
well.
behind The pursuit driver. We've lost count at this point. How many times this scene that you're watching unfold has happened? Closing their doors and
That
carrying
person
on
just did a
this
U-turn.
pursuit. Turning left from Irwindale onto Foothill Boulevard. And this CHP unit just creeping closer and closer, closing this gap. But again, no attempts to make a pit maneuver. That has not been authorized by the department. Okay, we're going to go in with the doubler again, see what this driver is doing. Visibly agitated before we saw them appearing to throw their hands up in frustration just now. Westbound on Foothill. Still in Irwindale.
It's like chasing a sloth, dude. Oh my god. All right, so here's the thing, guys. It's way after now. It's way after the time when they usually fly the helicopter back. So like
Now we're not
it
seeing the bright
we
light
start
what
getting
appears to be
into a
on screen
place
in the
where we're
car
asking,
anymore, but
are we going to
no
see the
word
end of this
about
chase?
communication
Because it's
between
very
this
possible that the
driver
news station's just like, fuck it.
and officers.
This is boring as shit. Our shift is over. We're running out of
The
gas.
question,
Whatever,
of
you know.
course, is why
Whatever it is, you start to wonder if maybe the end of the chase is
when
not
conditions made it
them pulling over,
seem
but
like a
it's
good
actually just the
opportunity to do
news
so, to
leaving.
end this
And that's
quickly
all
and
we see.
safely.
Because I believe their shift
Okay, slowing down to a
ends
stop now. Huntington Drive
at
and Foothill
midnight.
Boulevard.
Well, there's a cop right there. Yo, they're going to do something right now.
Could this
Dude,
finally be
go.
the termination
Go,
of this
man.
pursuit that started in Monterey
He's got a
Park?
spike strip right there, and the cop pulled it out of the way
Saw
for
a
him.
spike strip attempt there with an officer who was waiting at Huntington Drive
Why did he do that?
and Foothill Boulevard. But this driver is continuing on.
He pulled it out of the way. Like I don't quite understand what happened there.
A number of these close calls now.
He moved it so that the guy could go. It was like they stopped him and then they were like, "Nah, actually, go ahead." I don't know. It
Stopping
doesn't make any
again.
sense. The cop has all his channel points on yes for the 90 minutes. Okay.
Northbound now in Canto Parkway. The driver is stopped.
Okay, this might be it.
CHP is stopping behind this pursuit vehicle, the suspected DUI driver.
Here they go.
We're seeing another spike strip.
Okay, now you're
attempt there.
fucked.
You saw that CHP officer running and placing that spike strip in front of the back tires of this car. I'm going to widen out slightly so you can see just how many officers are behind this now stopped pursuit vehicle. These 3 CHP units that we've seen tailing this car on the ground. Officers are now out of their cars, and this pursuit driver, as we swivel around to get a better view, remains in their car.
Dude, doesn't that look like some old version of a spike strip? Like they
We're seeing
usually look
movement in
like
the car.
a
Visibly
big
agitated early on,
tube
but
almost.
continuing to drive, that seems to be an impossibility at this point with this spike strip now placed right in
Dude,
front
he's
of the
gonna
back
step out of the
tires.
car and step on the spike strip.
If he continues driving, this is going to end in moments anyway. Might as well give it up now, but we'll see what this driver does. Okay, rolling down the window now.
Okay.
That window going down on the driver's side.
Okay, yeah, it's a better video on the other stream. Hold on. It's better.
Like, so that's what the kind of a person you're dealing with here. You know, being irrational, just not in the right mind. So
Yeah.
it's
You can't
unfortunately,
go
it's
anywhere.
out there like that. Yeah. Well, that's where you throw them between the tires because he can't back
Smart.
up and he can't go forward. Can't go forward.
I've never, Tim, I feel like, we've covered so many of these of late, but there's always something new I see in these pursuits. I've not seen this where literally the spike is thrown under, so no matter forward or backward, this driver will
Dude, this
puncture
guy is
those
out of his
tires.
mind. Look at him.
You can see him motioning. He's very upset. Officers' guns drawn. It's a
Dude, I
really
feel
tense
bad for this
situation.
dude.
We don't know, Tim. Oh, he's showing his hands.
Hands out.
Hands up. Hands up. Is he saying I can't open my door?
Who knows? I mean, it could be that.
He might be saying that. Wait, oh, now they're firing at
You
him.
see,
It's more like that's more than likely a less lethal round to
Right.
shatter the window, and the next thing
He's like, "Fuck this,
pepper balls, where they'll start putting.
dude."
Uh,
All right, why
to,
this
uh,
their stream
make
their
him-
stream is so
to
fucked.
encourage him to get to class first with either a
Hold on, I
shotgun
think I'm gonna
round
switch
that's less
back.
lethal or a 40 millimeter rubber bullet.
Maybe
they'll
not.
Get that window out, And then
The other one,
start
you
putting
can't see him very
pepper balls in that
well.
hole. But more than likely, you'll see another.
He's
light
got his
vehicle round
fucking
go in
hands out the
to
window.
knock out the rest of that window, so they with the
And they're
pepper
still,
balls or with
they
the,
fired
the gas
through.
agent, whatever they're
I'm surprised he
using,
doesn't
to
just keep driving.
encourage him to get out of the car. So right now,
Like,
they're,
yeah, you'd
"All
pop
right,
those
you know,
tires, but
knock
whatever."
your window out. It's your time to give up. I'm sticking my hands up. And so this conversation now is going back and forth between the suspect and the officers. And what they want him to do now is open that door.
Dude, this guy
get
talking
out
is
and give
boring
up.
as hell.
And that round through that back window is a little bit of encouragement to him to show that they are not
Okay, I think he's gonna
you know,
get out.
putting up with much more. And you'll start seeing a pepper balls zip in there in a minute.
The other
if
stream
he
is
doesn't
ahead of this
comply
one.
pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think was that in fact. I want to use the right.
Whoa, they
another-
fired at him
another
again.
Less than lethal round. Is that officially a beanbag, Tim?
Yeah, a beanbag. if
Okay,
you
so
will.
it's a
Yeah.
beanbag.
He's
It's
yelling
a-
at him
he's-
Comes
still.
out of a 12-gauge shotgun and
Yeah.
goes through that window pretty easily. It's 1 ounce of pellets inside
Okay.
of a Kevlar
Yeah.
bag.
He's getting
And so-
scared.
Now what?
Yeah, it's. I'm sure it's
Dude, just get out of the car.
if he's not hit by the beanbag itself. And now
Okay,
they have
reaches out, opens the
open
door.
from the outside. They've given him the proper encouragement.
Man,
to
this
give
is
up.
fucked
And
up.
now the officers are going to have tasers. They're going to have beanbags, and then also chemical to be able to take him down if he doesn't give up.
Dude, they're being really aggressive
Right,
now,
He's yelling,
whereas they were not
Yeah.
Yeah,
during the whole
hands up.
damn
He's
chase,
showing-
you
he's
know?
saying, hey, my hands are up. Stop. So, you know, he should step out of the vehicle,
Right. Yeah.
and there he
That's-
goes.
Like I said,
There he goes.
Just get out, dude.
he's
Yeah,
gonna
he's,
step out.
I mean,
anything, yeah. Well, if he does anything other than
he's all fucked
get out of
up.
the car, he's just
I mean, this dude's having the worst night of his life right now.
Yeah.
you
So,
see what they've been dealing with for the last hour, 15
Yep.
minutes.
yeah, it's been about an hour and a half. He's going to step over the spike strips. He's got to
Okay,
have the back
okay,
to him.
okay. They're like, lay down on the spike
Okay.
strip.
So now at this point, he seems to be doing what officers want him to do on the ground,
Very good.
spread. Officers will approach. They'll check the vehicle.
It looks like he's been there before, but of his back like that, he kind of knows what's going on.
He's
what's
been
going
there
on.
before.
Yeah, they'll make that.
Damn, this
Make sure
this
The laser-
former cop is
see the
such a
laser?
savage.
Yep. And that's probably a patrol rifle, and they'll work their way
Oh,
up on him.
gosh.
But the problem
Okay.
is he's not clear yet. He's got his hands by the back of his waistband, so you don't know if he has. the
Charles
back or
says
not.
that his family is
They,
there.
They were able to get there
According to the
with both
scanner,
hands, and now it looks like it's going to be a code 4. No civilians hurt and suspect in custody.
his family's there.
Okay. The suspect is in custody. It's 11:50. We're 20 minutes beyond good night, LA. Tim Lynn, I want to thank you so much.
All right.
I want to, though, let our viewers know this is ending in the city of Irwindale. I don't have the exact location, but you can follow up tomorrow and on our website, foxla.com. Tim Lynn, appreciate you so much. Couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much. It's good to have that this suspect is now officially
Yeah,
in
there's
custody.
there's
Thank you, Tim.
stringers out there, real fucking close by. What's up with that? 93% of people said, "Man, only one guy put money on no, and he won. Cleaned up 5K points." How embarrassing to have your mom show up. I know, Snark. I mean, that guy's having the worst night you could fucking imagine. So bad. You missed it by 2 minutes. Nah, you missed it by like, I don't know, 5, maybe 10. Chase ended a while ago now, you know. Yeah, a whole crowd of people. His brother showed up and tried to get to the car, and the police stopped him. Really? Okay. Thanks, everybody. It was fun. I will not be going live again tonight. That's it. There's no more potential for a chase. That's it. So, is Subatomic still on? He was watching my channel. He is. Okay, let's raid over to Subatomics. Okay, so they got him. Long story short, guy drove around for almost an hour and a half. Probably well over that before the police got there. He drove around for almost 2 hours, let's say. And then eventually just pulled over, and the cops shot some beanbags at him. And he got out of the car. That's it. Thanks, everybody. Everybody on YouTube and on Twitch, and we're going to go say hi to Subatomics. So maybe copy that. Let's go over there. Okay. Good night, everybody.